Boa tarde, galera. On my way to the studio, I realized I was wearing the wrong clothes. And because today's segment was on Capoeira Angola. Angola is the style of Capoeira that was created right after the style regional was born. It was what we would consider to be the original Capoeira, because before Mestre Bimba opened his school in the 1930s, it didn't have a name. And so after Mestre Bimba named his style of Capoeira the Luta Regional da Bahia, regional Capoeira, the name Angola was born. It was an homage to that port in Africa where the largest number of Africans were brought to Brazil from. And so in homage to the port of exit from Africa, the style of Capoeira Angola is born. Traditionally, Angoleros, they wear a shirt with a collar. I don't have a collar, I am sorry. Angoleros wear pants. These pants are not bad. I can get away with these pants, especially since Angoleros, for the most part, do not wear a cord to symbolize their level of graduation. I'm not wearing a cord because these are not my uniform pants. In our group, Capoeira Guerreiros, we only wear our cord when we're wearing our uniform. Our uniform is our white pants with our group shirt. Since these are not white pants, I don't have on my cord, so for Angola, I'm okay. Except I failed the foot test. I do not have on my shoes unless I cheat and I wear my sandals. I could get away with this in Angola as long as I wear these, but it'd be hard to keep on in the roda. But I've seen some amazing mestres wearing sandals in a roda and keeping them on the whole time. And so I'm out of uniform for Angola. I should have on a collared shirt. I should have on a belt with these pants, like an actual belt with a buckle on it, and I should be wearing something on my feet. Forgive me, Angoleros. I'm sorry I'm out of uniform. And so, we'll begin with a song, and then we'll get into the lesson for the day, and we can move in. Let's see, stay with me. All right. Traditionally in Capoeira Angola, there are several kinds of songs that we sing. The opening song in a roda is known as the ladainha, which translates roughly into litany. It is the opening song in the roda, and while the ladainha is being sung, two players usually wait at what is the foot, the pé do birimbau, and they wait until the ladainha is done and the canta de entrada, also known as the luvação, has finished. Canta de entrada means the song of entry, luvação is the luvation or the lifting up, and then we start with either a chula, which is a call and response song, or a corrido, which is a more run-on song. So today, I will do one ladainha, one corrido, and one chula, just so you have some examples. Ladainha begins with a grita, the scream, to let you know it's on. Yeah! Minha fé em Deus é grande, minha fé em Deus é grande como o universo. Na roda da capoeira, a proteção a Deus eu peço. Na corda do birimbau, o meu nome eu vou falar. Eu me chamo passado, do futuro bem presente. Viva Deus, palmas autoras, deu capoeira para a gente, camarada. Viva meu Deus, yeah, viva meu Deus, camarada. Foi dizer a meu senhor que a manteiga de amor, a manteiga era minha, a manteiga de ioiô. Foi dizer a meu senhor que a manteiga de amor, a manteiga do patrão, a quer, moleque? O que tu quer, moleque? O que tu quer, moleque? Não me chame de moleque, não me chame de moleque. Oh meu Deus, o moleque não sou eu. Olha quem foi chamou de moleque, foi besouro preto, besouro morreu. Tu quer moleque, moleque é doido. Tu quer moleque, moleque é doido. Tu quer moleque, moleque é doido. And so on that last song, I took the shula and I gave it an entrada, which is the fancy way to come into it. And there are many really great capoeira songs that are so simple with the call and response, but they have a good entrance. And so it gets everybody like, oh, wait, where's he going with this? And then, boom! We keep it nice and simple. And so, that is our música de Fidede. The music in Capoeira Angola is usually accompanied with an Angola bateria. In order to have an Angola bateria, I need a bunch of people. And right now, since we're social distancing, I can't have a bunch of people. I would normally have 3 birimbaus, 2 pandeiros, an agogô, a reco-reco, and an atabaque. And we talked about the bateria a couple of weeks ago, so I'm not going to go back into that. I did say when we did our Angola class back in the day, about a month ago, that we were going to cover these things called the chamadas de bênção. The chamadas are calls. We talked about the calls within the music. Today we're going to talk about the calls within the game. And we're going to go through some of the sequencia from Capoeira Angola. Many people know that there's a sequencia, a teaching sequence in Capoeira Regional. Not many people know that there is also a teaching sequence attributed to Mestre Pastinha in Capoeira Angola. So today, we will start with that teaching sequence, and we'll get through at least 3 parts, if not 4. There are 7 parts in total. And so we will work our way through to see how far we can get. 3, maybe 4 today, because the sequencia ends with a chamada. So we'll work on the sequencia, then we'll do the chamada. Now the chamada is also known as the passagem de dois, 2. There will not be 2 today. It will just be the 1. It will be you. It's sort of like when you dance all by yourself. You're going to be doing that today. And so we will reset the room and you will meet us on the floor for movimento time. If you also remember, in Capoeira Angola, the body moves differently. The molejo do corpo, the looseness of the body, the fluidity of it is important. So as we ginga to the music, our music today comes from Mestre Moraes, who is the founder of GCAP, Grupo Capoeira Angola Pelourinho. He is an amazing singer and an amazing capoeirista who traces his lineage back to Mestre João Pequeno. And so, his music is going to guide us today with some manjinga, some trickery, some fluidity, no stiffness. Relax your body as you ginga. And so, we also talked weeks ago about the language of Capoeira Angola, how some of the movements known in Capoeira Regional and in Capoeira Contemporânea, Moderna, Ecumenical, whatever you want to call it today, they're different. So I'm going to try to use the Angola terminology today. I'll give you the translations at least twice, but by the 3rd time, I want you to remember. And so, ginga is ginga. Everybody calls it ginga. So, in the ginga now, with the ginga, molejo, the movement, the looseness of the body, our first movement in the sequence, coincidentally, is meia lua de frente. In Mestre Bimba's teaching sequence, the first movements are meia lua de frente. And so, coincidentally, Mestre Bimba has 2 meia lua de frentes. In Angola, they also have 2 meia lua de frentes. So we're going to start warming up our hips by doing 2 meia lua de frentes. One leg, one the other leg. Try doing them from a parallel base, doing them from a back base. Loosen up and start to move. So let's begin. Randomly, whenever you're ready, bring your 2 meia lua de frentes. As you get more comfortable, you start to push your hips forward more. you're extending into that meia lua de frente. If I turn to the side, you may be able to see the hip extension a little better. Pushing forward into your meia lua de frente. Again, pushing the hips forward into the meia lua de frente. You can bring your meia lua back behind you or parallel and go to ginga with the other foot. Preference. Sometimes you don't get a choice. Sometimes your balança, your equilíbrio do corpo isn't so good and you gotta put your foot down. It's better to put your foot down than to put your whole body down. Now what I was taught by my Mestre Cigano from Grupo Liberdade, was that when you throw this meia lua, show your intention. If your foot is toes pointed up, it's because I want to hit you and I don't want to hurt my foot. But if I'm being nice, my toes are pointed because toes pointed aren't going to hurt you and it's not going to hurt me if I hit a solid body. So if you mean to hit something, solid foot. Music change, volta mundo, walk the circle. You hear that grita, the scream? That means you know La Gainha is coming. Now, when those two meia luas are given in the sequência for Capoeira Angola, the escape is called negaça. Negaça's other name is guarda baixa, low guard. And so it's very much like the esquivas that we use in regular old capoeira. And so when a meia lua de frente comes, you will flow out of the way. Depending on when the next one comes is when you flow the other way. What you don't want to do is you don't want to get locked in a movement ever in capoeira. So don't go to esquiva and hang out. If you hang out, you will probably catch a ponteira right in your face. So make sure if you flow to the side, you flow back up. So maybe the two meia luas are connected left and right. So maybe you have to flow, and then go to ginga. So now I would like you to mix up your negaças, your guarda baixas. I would like you to try 1 and out, try 2 and out, 2 and out. Sometimes you have to do 3. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 3. If you've seen some really good Angoleros, when they do their negaça, they're like butter. They just flow. 1, 2, 3, and they're back out. Find your flow. Find your style of manteiga. How melted is your butter from the song that we did today? A manteiga de amor. Is your butter melted or is your butter still frozen and we can't even cut it? Please, soften your butter. I hope someone is writing down all my amazing capoeirisms. I've come up with at least 2 good ones today. So after your 2 guarda baixas or negaças, I had mentioned a kick earlier that may come to the face, the ponteira. That's what you're going to give. So you're going to do 1, 2, ponteira. Ponteira comes with that part of the foot. So again, you're going to do 1, 2, ponteira. Let's do that sequence now. 2 escapes, 1 kick. 1, 2, ponteira. 1, 2, ponteira. Mix up your esquivas now. 1, ginga, 2, but right after your second esquiva, must come ponteira. Because that is your answer to what you were just given. You were just given 2 meia luas. the person receiving pontera doesn't want to be kicked in the face. And so what they will do is they will queda de negativa, fall in a negativa. That means falling back in negativa. So if the foot is coming, you need to go back away from what just attacked you. And now since I'm here, I want to get up. So I'm going to use my jole to get up. Please remember to protect your face. They just tried to kick it once. Don't offer it a second time. So when you jole, let your arm come up before your face and back to your ginga. So, you're giving two meia-luas. Your partner is escaping, but giving you back, pontera, which means you have to queda de negativa and get up. So we will now go back to the part one. Two meia-luas, negativa, jole. Have fun with this. Meia-lua, meia-lua. Ah, queda de negativa, jole. From the side to demonstrate the queda de negativa a little better. Meia-lua. Queda de negativa means I'm going back in negativa. On the other side, queda de negativa means I'm going back in negativa. The kick is coming at me, so I'm going back and down. Two meia-luas. One, queda de negativa and jole. Jole means roll. If you were wondering, just roll and get up. So now remember, each one of the parts of the teaching sequence ends with a chamada, a call. The calls in the Capoeira Angola game are sometimes misused. Sometimes people are out of breath and winded, and they use a chamada because they think it's like a break. The chamada is meant to add something to the game, not a timeout in the game. And so, if in that game of Angola you kick me, I want to get you back. So I call a chamada to try and get you. If in the game of Angola I kick you on your way up from the floor, you see that I'm calling you because I want to kick you again. Now, in the teaching sequence, we practice those chamadas. So chamada número in the part one, it is a movement that we use that looks like that. I wish somebody can screenshot that. If not, I'm gonna post it. That's a better idea. I will post it. And so the arms will go up into the air. And so, you want to, arms up in the air. Arms up in the air. You want to have them across so that you're in defense. Step back a little bit. Your partner will match those arms. If you trust your partner, like you saw in the picture, you drop the arm after we've come together. But our chamada will be here, covering exposed parts that can get hurt, coming into chamada. And so what's important is that the person who led is the person that does the call. So when you get up from your jole, you will give the call. So let's go with our meia-luas. Two meia-luas. Dois. Ah, pontera's coming at you. Negativa, jole. You tried to kick me, huh? Okay, come on. Now we're going to assume that the person came in. And now we're going to do the passagem de dois, even though there's just one of you. We're going to go 3 steps in forward and backward directions. So, dois, três, back, dois, três. Now you can let the person out now or walk 3 more and let them out. But we don't want to keep going back and forth forever. Since this is a good camera angle, I'm going to let them out now. I let them out and I want them to do an au so that I can cabezada them. So let's imagine you've let them out, they've done au, come in for cabezada. In cabezada, make sure you are covering your face. You want to hit with the solid part of your forehead and protect the soft parts of your face. Cabezada. And go back to ginga. So we'll do that one more time. 2 meia-luas, queda negativa, rolê, and the chamada. Embora. When your partner arrives, 1, 2, 3. Let them out, cabezada. So now let's do the other side twice, the receiving end of the chamada. It'll look very much like what we just did as the giving end of the chamada, because the chamada images are the mirror image. Now, we have 2 negaças and a ponteira. So we have negaça, negaça, ponteira. And we're in ginga thinking, ha, ha. And then they give us chamada, and we're like, oh, we have to answer that. And so do not run right over, because they want to catch you. Let's take the long way to get there. Let's queda negativa. Let's troca negativa. Let's volley, but not get up. Oh, they're still there. Maybe I thought they would have given up. Let's volley again. Nope, they're still there. Let's come a little closer. When we get to the person, we want to get up carefully, so it's hands first. They have legs that can kick us. So I'm putting a hand in front of me as I get up low, blocking, protecting, blocking, protecting, in chamada position. They lead us on the walk. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And they let us go. They want us to do AU so they can hit us. Let's give them what they want. Let's do AU. Let's do that one again. 2 negaças and a ponteira. Meia-luas coming at you. Negaça. Negaça. Return. Ponteira. Laugh it up. Haha. Until you see chamada. Oh, man. You must answer a chamada. They would like you to do AU. So for now we will. I just broke another Angola rule. My shirt was not tucked in. No exposure of the belly in AU, in Capoeira Angola. Keep your shirt tucked in. All right, that was sequência 1. Let's move on to sequência 2. It also starts with 2 meia-lua de frentes. So we don't need to practice that again. But after the meia-lua de frente comes a third kick, the chibatada. The chibata is a whip. The chibatada is a whipping movement. In other capoeiras, that whipping is called martelo. So we have 2 meia-luas and a chibatada, known as martelo. Here we go. Mix up your bases so that sometimes your martelo finishes all the way behind you. Sometimes your martelo finishes in paralela. Mix up your meia-lua de frente base. Sometimes meia lua finishes parallel, sometimes in the back, changing that martelo. 3 golpes. 1, 2, 3. You can even try for the advanced students to give the last 2 kicks with the same leg. So my first meia lua is left, my second meia lua is right, and my martelo is right. My first meia lua is left, my second meia lua is right, and my third kick is also with the right. 3 ataques. 1, 2, 3. Coming at you. Remember I said in part 1, we do negasa whenever we need to. Well, now we need 3 negasas. And so we're going to pass 3 times. So let's talk it out. Meia lua de frente. Meia lua de frente. Martelo. Meia lua de frente. Meia lua de frente. Martelo. Meia lua de frente. Meia lua de frente. Martelo. What happens if the second 2 kicks, kick number 2 and 3, they come from the same side? When you start your negasa, you gotta go back. So let's try that. Meia lua de frente, meia lua de frente. Oh, same leg. Meia lua de frente, meia lua de frente. Oh, same leg. Now, as always, in a teaching sequence, it's back and forth. And so you've just given me, I've just received your 3 attacks. I'm giving back to you what we call chapa solta. Chapa solta in Angola is called benção in other capoeiras. And so we need to do 3 negasas and chapa solta, benção. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, chapa solta. 2, 3, chapa solta. Whenever you're ready. 1, 2, 3, chapa solta. 1, 2, 3, chapa solta. It is better that your chapa solta comes from your bent leg. That's the one that has some power behind it. The straight leg, the extended leg, is not very powerful in this position. So we would like to, after the negasa, use this leg because my weight is coming back this way. Extend that foot. So we know what 1 and 2 are starting with. We got to get to the ending of this story. If the chapa solta is coming at us, the logical thing to do is to queda de negativa, fall back in negativa. But while we're down there, we're going to do an attack. That attack is called rabujahaya. We're introducing in this one two things that you may not know. Habajahaya translates into tail of the stingray. It's that thing that killed poor Steve Irwin, the crocodile guy. And so in Capoeira, the Habajahaya is also known as Meia Lua de Compasso. It's what most people believe is the signature movement of Capoeira. If you see this move, you're like, that's Capoeira. So, for that to be Capoeira, 2 meia lua de frentes and your chibatata. Queda de negativa, Habajahaya. I'll call it out for you. Meia lua de frente, chibatata, known as martelo. Oh, the chapa solta's coming at you. Queda de negativa, and then Habajahaya. Guard your face on the way up. Jenga. What's coming? I hope you just did 2 meia lua de frentes, because I did my negaças. I hope you're doing your chibatata, your martelo. Well, now, you better queda de negativa. And then, you find your position for your Habajahaya. I will escape your Habajahaya. Let's do that one more time together. I'll call out what we're doing all together. Everyone, meia lua de frente. Meia lua de frente. Chibatata. Queda de negativa. And Habajahaya. Bonito. And so now, we want to go to our chamada, the call. What is going to be the answer now? This is where we're going to get to in this chamada. So the chamada is not going to start like this, but it is going to finish like this. It's in a position for a joelhada. And so, it will start like this. And when the person gets close, you will change to this. So again, it starts like this. When the person gets close, you will change to this. Putting your hands here indicates that you want their head to go into that position. Putting this leg back indicates that you want to give joelhada. And so, let's ginga together. Remember, the person giving the lead is also giving the chamada. So after our Habajahaya, we call a very broad chamada. So I'll call out your movements again. Meia lua de frente. Meia lua de frente. Chibatata. Queda de negativa. Habajahaya. And chamada. As they get close to you, transform. Now, their head is in your abdomen. We're going to walk that passagem de dois, the passage. We go forward. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This chamada ends only one way, with the joelhada. So you give the joelhada, they go back into queda de negativa and do their rolê. So let's move on. One more time with the attack. 2 meia luas. 1 chibatata. Escape the benção. Give. Meia lua de compasso. Call them. Chamada means call. And so now when they get close to you, transform. Change your position. Now we can go for the walk. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Joelhada. Now the receiving person really responsabilidade esquerda de negativa. I don't think we need to practice that more than once. So we're going to do the receiving end just one time. There were 3 attacks coming at us. So we have três negaças, followed by our chapa solta, known as bênção. So here comes meia lua. Here comes meia lua. Here comes chibatata. Return the favor. Feel good about yourself until Habujahaya comes at you. You need to escape. And then surprise, you're being called with a chamada. Take your time. Get there slowly. It's like when you were a kid and you did something wrong and your mom called you and you knew you were in trouble. Take the longest way ever. Find an excuse not to go right over. Clean your room, take out the garbage, wash the dishes, anything to just not run right over. Once you get there, you see they've transformed, which means you're protecting your face and your head goes into their belly and they walk you. 1, 2, 3. Cover your face. 1, 2, 3. You know a knee kick is coming. 1, 2, 3. Knee kick comes. Queda de negativa. Rolei. Boom. We've just done 2 of the Angola sequências.